it's Taylor,
It's Tori.
and it's
Sunshine
Sunshine.
and Shade.
We
And
missed you
then,
guys.
did you miss us? We missed you guys.
Hey, I haven't seen you in the studio for a while.
Hey, Taylor, is it? Is that your name? Hmm?
Yeah, I
Nice.
know you. It's been a
Yeah.
while. I think usually like this on FaceTime.
Where it's just like, it's been forever. I'm gonna be dramatic about it, but because we definitely have FaceTime before. But it's been a while since I've seen the studio. Hello.
So where have we been? What's been going on? It's been like a whole month since we've been here for
I
Sunshine
know.
and
I
Shade.
know. And like we said, we're gonna do this consistently every week, which I'm like we are getting back onto that, but life
Yeah.
happens, people. Life happens, and we're back though. Thank you for our little short intermission things, and we're gonna try to be more consistent. So thank you. But yeah, no, where have we been? April's an insane month, I think, for both of us. And honestly, every month has its thing. So I'm like I say April in general, but I'm like in general, life is crazy. But what happened in April? What's your little recap?
But yeah, so April. That's me and Tanner's anniversary month, so big on celebrating. We love that. It's also both our baby sister and our older brother's birthdays, who share the same birthday, actually, April 2nd.
Oh my
Shout out
god,
to
I didn't know
Faith,
we had the actual same birthday. That's so cool.
literal same birthday. Faith turned 22, so it was her Red album year. So Tyler is Tanner's older brother. He's great. We love him. Big brother for our life. Elena is his wife, and she has just been the best additive to our lives. I love vacationing with her. I love the holidays with her. And it was just like so freaking fun getting to
I
celebrate
love Elena. We had so much fun at your batch.
that. Literally, you love her. I finally planned a big party. We called it Fairing Fest. We all got to like celebrate
I
them.
love
They
it.
did
We go to EDC. That's so fun.
yes, because they're so fun. They had rave bracelets. We all got to make bracelets, and they had like the glove stuff. Their buddy came out and DJ'd for them, and he just like played everything that we loved. They did Chainsmokers like remix. They did a Mama by Bohemian
Princess?
Rhapsody. Yeah, Bohemian Rhapsody remix. That was so good. And titanium hits different when you're on the
Wow.
floor and you're drunk. Yes,
Beautiful. You're just like,
like
ooh.
send me. So
The beam of light comes down. You're like, whoa.
yeah. And everyone was just like, no drama, so fun. The family like just like is full of dancers, so everyone was just like squaring up on the floor. We couldn't have asked for a better time. So we love that. And then that next weekend we actually went to Chicago for the Four Seasons and we did a little couples massage. So it was a super fun, busy month.
Celebrate your anniversary. I love that. And then 4 seasons. Okay, casual.
I just wanted to do something.
I was like registering my face. I'm like, I still love that they called it Fairing Fest. I feel like that's so fun. And I'm like, just to play on words. And I'm like, they love festivals. I'm like, that's so cute. That's so cute. And the rave bracelets.
Yes, it was so cute. And she
Yeah,
could
and
have
then the massages and everything at 4 seasons. I'm like, okay, fancy.
yeah. I figure we'll probably do like a fun first anniversary and then we'll do like every 5 or 10 we'll do something like super fun.
Like go
Um
to like the state or something, or country
yeah.
even.
Yeah.
Maybe back to Italy for a little like, ooh, let's go back to where we were married.
One more 10 here. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, so good things like that are going on. And then I also like left my last job and started a new job.
Yeah,
Um
big updates, people.
yeah,
Literally. Wait, honestly, there's so many. Yeah, big updates.
yeah, so which was all good things. I loved my old job, but was really excited to kind of start some new projects and like work on like some things that I had in mind for my future. So it was nice to kind of just transition into the next role that I turned into, which is I would call a work from home job. I'm not really allowed to talk about too many details about it online, but I'm just like it's created like a really good balance for me where I feel like I can be hands on with this and like still have like do things that I love.
Another
So
thing to
I'm really happy.
focus on too at the same time. And it's like, but not like an overwhelming thing where you're like, okay, but it's a great. And I'm so happy for you that you found it. That call that you got that day, I was like, oh my God, wait, we talked about this. You know what I mean? It was just,
Yes.
also,
I forgot about that.
please stop me every time I say, you know what I mean? Or everyone drink every time I say, you know what I mean? Because after listening to myself so many times, I was like, or not so many times, but when I listened to it back, I was like, oh my God. I was like, I
And that's
said it so
really
many
cute
times.
that you say that because I, for one, didn't notice that, but I know that's like a huge Midwestern thing. I wonder if your mom and dad do that. and that's why you do it.
Or I'm like, do I watch like Midwestern podcasters or something? You know what I mean? Where I'm like, where do I pick that up? I pick up on people. I'm like, I
Because you
don't
vibes.
know. I'm just like, I don't know. Where do I pick that up from? And I say just kidding a lot. That's another thing Jessica always points out. She's like, just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding.
It's
Sorry, I'm so distracted. ADHD things. Also, it's like late in the day. We're having a late night recording session. So if I seem a little extra out of it, so sorry. We had an office day today. So it's also hat day. Look at our hats. Hair wash day after this. So little sidetrack, but no, yeah, so many exciting things. Love the new job, and it gives you more of an opportunity to work on this, which is so fun. Thank you, all like Taylor for taking a lot of the random
it's
like
been
grunt
fun.
work with
So
this. So
crazy.
thank you and shout out. I love to do my shout outs on here. But thank you. That's just so exciting though that you started your new job.
Yes, I'm
I know
loving
you
it.
loved your last place too, and I loved the woman that you worked with there. I've like met them at your wedding. I'm like, no, nothing like harsh with them. I'm just like, it's an exciting, different new chapter of like what you said is going to help you to your next goals, or even just working on yourself. And I know we're kind of like getting a sidetrack, but like, kind of tell me what you were saying earlier with like how you get to journal and stuff now, and like you get to just like do your more like day to day like things that you want to have on your to-do list that you're like, I want to actually do this and have the best intentions to, but when you have like certain amount of time in the day, it doesn't really get done. But now you have where it's like you're able to balance more. So like tell us a little bit more about that of like journaling and kind of things like different goals.
Yeah, no, it's been really beautiful. I feel like I've been able to feel less divided in the role that I have now. So with that being said, I can kind of block out my time differently. Like I know that I'm going to be doing this activity at this time and this is going to happen at this time and whatever will happen here. And I can pair tasks with those individual activities, which kind of allow me to be more mindful. So like while I'm supervising this, I know that I can take that time and do my one-page journal that I want to do, just like to get something out of my mind, to just like debrief something, sometimes to just dream about something random that came to my mind when I'm like hyper fixated,
I
like,
do want to start like a little dream journal because I'm like sometimes it's like reoccurring where
oh,
I'm like, wait a minute, have we been here before? Dreams are interesting. That's a whole
yes,
different topic we should like research and stuff one day. So I want to
we have,
learn more about it. I want to learn more.
yeah, no, I mean like even just one page in my journal, I told you this back in January. I took it and I split it into each of the months and I just set one goal for each of the months. And so that's one page in my entire journal. And one day I just like go back there a month and I'm like, so what am I doing this month? I don't even remember. But yeah, so that's been
That's
good.
get a
Yeah,
little note here so I can go check it.
yes. And then during like my forced outside time, not forced, it's like such a pleasure. Like I'm stoked on it, especially now it's like 70 degrees and it shouldn't be. So I'm like having a
It's like prime time for Chicago now. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like thriving right now. We're here for it. I'm like reading again. Like I finished so many books in the past month, which I should have been looking back hindsight. I should be using that time to like work on our passion projects more. But it's also kind of nice to have that forced like 30 to 45 minutes where I'm like, I'm actually gonna read this book and like really enjoy it. And so that's been really beautiful and loving that. And I never felt like I could really fit that into my day without feeling guilty before, and now I fit it in and I feel like such a pleasure. So, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now.
So exciting. All like within how much like amount of time too? Because I feel like you're just out here and we're kind of just talking about this and just like what we want for the next couple years. And it's like, oh my God, okay, check, check. So it's
Right?
like, oh,
We're
amazing.
savoring the momentum right now. But you had the freaking time of your life last
Oh
month.
my
Like,
God.
it was so hard to catch you, and every time I texted you, you were doing something fun.
Still recovering. I'm still tired. I'm just kidding. But it was so many fun things. April really was. And I'm like, as I was looking at my little recap, like I was gonna post one of those Insta stories of like April recap. And I was like, ooh, let me scroll up. And I'm like, wait, April was really fun. Cause like the first weekend I had that free concert downtown Phoenix that had Jonas Brothers and the Mumford and Sons and like who was Friday? Zed, but I didn't go to Fridays. But it was all free, and it was a huge Jonas Brothers fan. I mean, I was. I'm not like I'm sorry, boys, not the biggest fan anymore. But I'm just like I was insanely crazy for how many years that it was cool to be like they're playing right by me for free, and so I was just like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna go show my support. So that was cute. And then
Did
Mumford
you
and
read your
Sons.
fan club book?
No, literally, I'm like, do you guys remember this? I'm kidding. My little shirt. So I'm like, Joe, remember my shirt? As I'm wearing my Taylor shirt.
God, yeah.
Um, and I'm just like, no, it was cute seeing them. And then Mumford and Sons. Oh my God. Oh, Yeah, everyone needs to see Mumford and Sons once in their life. It's just like, I really like haven't had a concert, and I'm like, I'm gonna sound like this is a spiritual experience, but like I had like full body chills from like Marcus's voice. I was just like, this is insane how he's able to just do this. And I'm just like, I don't know. It was just I was in shock, and I have been loving Mumford and Sons since like high school because of Kendra. Kendra introduced them to me in high
Oh,
school,
Ryan.
so it was just very like he's here. He's collaborated with Taylor recently, and I just love him to death. And then he's married to I am blanking on her name right now, Carrie, who was Daisy in The Great Gatsby. That's his wife.
Oh my God. What a
Yeah,
smoke show. Well played.
right. They're
Well,
like you should look up like their Golden Globe pictures. I think it was the Golden Globes or it was the Oscars, but they had all these cute pictures taken together, and I was just like, I love them. So I don't know. He did something to me while I was just like, I'm like, he was just like, I get it, Carrie. I'm like, he was just like, oof, he was amazing, and his voice is
wow.
insane. So I'm really glad I got to experience that. And then what the thing? Wait, who's that? Is that them from like forever ago? Let me see.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Thanks. We love Great Gatsby. Oh, such a
Like
good.
literally, I remember going to like the midnight premiere, not midnight premiere, but it was like
Oh,
the early showing with Andrew. I was like, oh my gosh, we're so cool. I'm just kidding.
so
Um,
culture.
but yeah, had that first festival of the weekend, and then I went to Coachella literally 5 days after, which because I'm crazy, but and I camped. I don't know how I survived camping, but I did. Thank you. Shout out to Dakota and Tim for like helping like the setups and all this sort of shit. But I'm just like, oof. I've never really camped before. I went camping with Jazzy once, but it was for one night. And it was like, you know what I mean? It was there for 5 days because we left or we got there Thursday morning at 6 a.m. and then we left on Monday morning at like 10.
Oh
So
wow.
it was a time, like a long time. But yeah, no, it was so much fun. It was my first Coachella, so I was just like, it really is a special festival. Like I've been to Life is Beautiful and a couple like local Arizona ones, but I really will say like it is the hype. Hype is real. I hate saying where I'm like, oh Coachella, but like it really is. There's something about it, and just all the different like special guests that they have. I mean, like weekend one had so many like just every stage you're at, you're just like, oh my God, this person's here. Like where I was like, Gwen Stefani, Olivia Rodrigo's out now. Or not Gwen Stefani, but no doubt how like brought out Olivia Rodrigo and Renee Rapp brought out Kesha. I got to hear TikTok live in the year 2024. And I'm just like, I don't think that any other festival would really bring this amount of like special guests or just like that exposure of like not exposure, but you know,
Yeah.
I'm just kind of like where it's just like all everyone's kind of like what's going on, who's there at Coachella, like, and you're just kind of like, who am I gonna see? Like, I do have a video, and we should try to post it. But I did see Phineas, Billie Eilish's
Oh
brother, and
yeah.
his girlfriend Claudia, and then the Naked Brother, the Naked Brothers band, the Wolf Brothers. They walked
Yes.
right past me, and I was like, "Thanks for being in GA, like with the rest of us." I'm kidding, but no, it was just, it really was special, and you know, through the camping, even though like the porta potties and all that sort of suffering. No, it was fine. Like me, I'm like saying I'm in the trenches as I'm like at an amazing festival, but I'm just like, it was just like those little home things that I'm like, wait, I want my air conditioning. The first 2 days with camping, I will say was rough because it was 90 degrees and we were like, there's no relief. Like you're in a tent, like, you know what I mean? Where you're just like in your little canopy. So I probably wouldn't camp again if I'm being honest. I really do love the experience and like the first night everyone watches the sunset on the hill and that was really cool like hippie experience. I feel like I got to like you know what I mean where it's like Woodstock where I'm like wow we're all just sitting here with a drink or like a joint and then like we're
Oh,
just like and like some people no literally some people are just like okay and then it was just happy vibes and my like you know I'm lame I cried like a couple of times where I'm just like wow everyone's just like so happy and there's a saying for this. My friend just told it to me in the bathroom today. We were like, not that that sounds weird, but we were like, my work friend, we were like walking by each other, and she's like, "How was Coachella?" Because I haven't seen her since. And then she was talking about this other band or something she saw, and then she was like, "I cried," and I was just like, "I'm like that too," and I was just like, people like kind of laugh at me or just like, "Why are you so sensitive and emotional?" But there is a saying, and I will get the actual word for it. I'm blanking on what she said earlier, but it's like like I can't remember what it is, but you just feel like everyone feels a rush of just happiness that you start crying, and there's like a saying for it. And I was like, I love that the English language, like we do keep like come up with like sayings for emotions that like people feel. Like I
It's an
don't know.
easy
Where I was
to
like, I thought
describe.
that was like a single experience where I was just like, okay, like I am a crier at random ass things like this, but it was like no, other people do cry for things like this. So I will find it. Her name's actually Taylor too, so I'm like, I will ask Taylor. So many
Yeah,
Taylors. But
I was
yeah.
just thinking that today. It's so funny
What?
too that there's so
Oh,
many Taylors.
it was like in elementary school. They're like Taylor L, Taylor B, Taylor C, Taylor. It was just
Oh, it's like
like,
the whole like first 10 letters of the alphabet I know a Taylor for. It's crazy.
no, literally, no.
But
But
I love that you went to Coachella. I literally am so jealous because I kept seeing like not only just your videos, but like my For You page was like polluted in the best way. I felt like I was there. I was
and you
not.
mean you can watch it. I don't know if I told you before, but you can watch it on YouTube. Like where exactly. So like weekend two, I actually watched from like my Coachella when I was home. So I was just like I like seeing this perspective too. So yeah, I'm glad you got to see that.
That's true. You know what? That's what I'll make Tanner do because I told him, I was like, I really want to do Coachella next year. I was like, I think it's worth it. I was like, it's not just the music, it's the food. It's also like the art. I was like, it's like an entire immersive experience.
Would love the art everywhere. Like there's just this room you go into and it was like it looks like a rock structure, but then you go in and it's a whole like digital where they change all the pictures like every 10 seconds where it's like here it looks like all these like one design, like a geometric design, and then it's all of a sudden like these flowers on these rock. I don't know how to it's hard to explain, but I'm just like it was really like there's random art little pieces everywhere, where I'm just like, wow, this is so pretty. So
Well,
I feel
that's
like
my
you would like it.
favorite
On
part.
top of the random, because there's that's the thing with Coachella, it's just such a random range of music too. Like you can be walking from one stage saying like Sublime, like I didn't watch them completely, but I was just like hearing like I was like, oh my gosh, as you're like walking to the next stage, and I'm just like now I'm like listening to Sabrina Carpenter, but then I'm like, okay, let's go to like over here, and then it's like later tonight we're singing Ice Spice, and it's just like, all right, let's go to No Doubt now, and I'm just like, there's so many different genres of music, and that's how my brain works. Where I was just like, ooh, what's next? What's next? So I think he would like it too. I don't know. I'm just like, just be like, okay, I did it. And if he hates it, he knows he hates it. But like festivals, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like Tanner would like it.
Oh, I know he loves festivals because he went to Electric Forest in Michigan, which is like this huge festival out in the Midwest. Like people
Oh,
travel
yeah,
all
I've heard of that
over.
one too.
Yes, it's like it's pretty wild though. I don't think I would survive it personally. But his like whenever he goes back to show me pictures from that experience, it's always of all of like the statues that they had like leading up to each of the venues and stuff. So I think he'd love it, and I also think he'd love like Coachella in general. Like I think he'd love Palm Springs in general. Like Tanner's
There's
a spa
there's
guy.
yeah.
Yes, like he loves getting a massage. He loves getting his eyebrows done. He loves a pedicure. He loves a pool day. Like he would love Palm Springs. And then we could go quadding. Like, because the other thing is too, like I'd want to go for like a whole week. Like if I'm going to Coachella, I'd be like at Coachella for 3 days or whatever, the 4 days, and then I would just stay the rest of the week and just recover, and then I would just
It's
get the fuck
like
out of
no, literally recovery is necessary rather than like, okay, let's jump on a plane now. And then like dealing with all the Coachella traffic. Cause that was one thing too, where it's like
there. Yeah.
everyone's leaving at the same time where it was just like, get me out of here. Like, but I can't cause everyone's on the freeway too.
If you could give one person like some sound advice about like having a really good Coachella experience, what would the advice be? You can give
Ooh,
something about fun, like one good advice for having a good time, and maybe like one piece of good advice logistically.
ooh, so sorry. I'm like, why is my phone? I thought I put my thing on do not disturb. So sorry. I was like, my phone. You're like, and I'm like, ding. Just gonna.
It's the tornado.
You're like, where's that? Oh yeah, your warnings things. Is it still raining there?
So it was thunderstorming a little bit ago, and then I think our tornado warning signal goes off on Thursdays where I'm at. I don't know if it's Tuesdays or Thursdays, I can't remember, but it went off like an hour ago, but I did not get that like scary alert on my phone. So when your phone went off, I was like, it's happening. My
Like,
wife,
gotta go. Close his laptop. Gotta go.
yeah, tuck and roll. I'm just
Shelter
kidding.
here.
I'm in the room with the most windows in the house too. How funny. Anyways, carry on. It's about to be where the heart is over here.
No, literally. Best advice I would say is like, because even with like, I saw so many people with like big groups of people, which I think is fun, but unless you have like a set both of you are on the same page of like, okay, I want to go see this person, this person, this person. Because even with like two people, it's kind of like, wait, I want to go see this, I want to go see this. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I can only imagine coordinating with like a huge group of people, but I'm like, and I don't think that's like my number one thing of advice, but just kind of have like a good idea of like the set times beforehand so you don't like miss people. Cause I think there was times where we're just like, oh, we have time. And then we're like, shit, what time? You know, and that's such a rookie mistake because it's like we would look like a little couple before, but it just kind of happens a lot quicker. Like the day kind of goes by like, I don't know. I feel like I just like flashed and I was like, oh my God, okay, it's like the next day or it's over, you know? So it just kind of all really happens really fast that you're just like, okay, just, you know, you're not gonna like the reality is you're not gonna see everyone you want to see. And you just have to kind of be like, okay, going in okay with that and not be like, I'm gonna be disappointed if I not, you know what I mean? We're just kind of like, okay, like it is like where you're just like, it's just the experience and you're gonna see how many different artists in general that you might not see, where it's just like you're gonna find someone else you might like too. Or even when you're just walking by, you're kind of like, ooh, I like jam to that as you're like walking to the next place. But
Like I was looking for that. Like I need to go here.
exactly. But I was like, there's so many other people I didn't see that I was not expecting to. You know what I mean? So I was just like,
True.
because ASAP Rocky came where I was like, I wasn't expecting to see him, but I got to see him because I'm not Tyler the Creator. It's okay if I'm not at Dom Dom right now, you know, or I'm just like, it's like little things where I'm like, you gotta like give and take because there's so many people they do line up at the same time. You're just like, all right, so sorry, I'll catch the online set next week, you know, but I'm just like, but that I think that would be actually like biggest advice is just like go in like you're gonna have a great time regardless and don't have expectations of like okay I need to see everyone because it's just a great time no matter what.
I love that actually. I remember one time I went to a festival and I saw like two of the three artists I wanted to see, but the third one was Carrie Underwood and I was like desperately wanting to see her and then it didn't work out because of like just weather and stuff. And I was heartbroken, but then I was also kind of like, well, at least I got to see the other two. But I was still
Exactly.
like, bummed.
It's
But I
still like when you have your main people though, I get that where you're just like, this is like what I want to see
one,
mostly. Like, please. So that's where I'm like, have your negotiations or be like, this is my like no negotiation. Like I'm gonna go. And then
right?
and be okay with maybe even splitting up. I mean, this might be
Right.
not be the best advice, but like there was times like Dakota really need to go to the bathroom, or it was like we want to go see this person, and or like I wanted to get a snack or something where it was just like, okay, I'm gonna go be right back. I know where you're at. Or we like you actually did have a little bit more like random service than I thought. Like there were times it was like
Oh,
completely dead, but there were times where I'm like, oh cool, I can actually call her or I can like see, you know what I mean? Where I'm just like text her like, hey, I'm at this place and everything. But it was just my battery. That was another thing. Bring a lot of chargers because it was like, and I was just my phone battery sucks, but I was like, I want to take like pictures and stuff of the experience. But then I was just like getting in contact with people. I was like, I gotta be smart about this because I was like, do I want battery for tonight? But also I need to, you know what I mean? So it was just like
right.
just balancing it all. Yeah.
Hearing bring lots of like maybe portable chargers, but also like divide up the set lists accordingly. And you're okay with being like, all right, if we don't see this one, that's cool, but this is my guy. We're going.
Exactly. We're just like, I'm gonna go, but then there were some where I'm like, you know what, I can be more lenient and be like, let me go with you and see what's going on over here.
Yeah, let's see it. Yeah, Tyler
Yeah.
the Creator. Every like video that you showed me was so cool, and then I kept trying to go on TikTok to show Tanner like Tyler the Creator, and I was like, Tori's videos are better. I wish you would just post.
Thank you. He actually, I would say he took the prize for my favorite person for the whole weekend. Him and Bleachers, because like Bleachers was amazing in general, obviously, but then the crowds, like both of the crowds for both of those people, it was like everyone was in it, everyone was feeling it, and then the artists, like when they see those people, are like, he's like, damn, like okay, you guys are. He's like, he was like, damn, Coachella, I thought you guys were gonna be late. You know what I mean? But it was like he felt it,
Oh,
so we got more excited. So I was like, okay, no, this is so much fun. He's a comedian. Tyler the Creator is a comedian in between, and we all know that. But I was just like, man's constantly performing. If we're like waiting in silence, he's gonna make us laugh in a second. So I love Tyler the Creator, and he's become my second top artist now that I've on my Spotify. I check my little Spotify stats, and for the last 4 weeks, he's like my number two. Sorry, Taylor Swift will always be kind of number one with release stuff, which we'll get to. Yeah, Lana, of course, was like amazing to see. I will say it was kind of rough to see a very slow set at the end of the night after a really like jam-packed day, but of course she's Lana, so we respect and we love her, but I was just like I'm a little sleepy and cold. But I was just like we loved her. And then she brought up Billy. So I'm like no complaints. I'm like you it's just like it's amazing.
that'll
But
get the blood pumping.
yeah, no, I'm just like wait, what's next? What's
Really?
next? But yeah, I would say, and then of course Doja. I gotta give like a second to Doja too, because I'm like, I really am not like the biggest stan of like fan, whatever, of like, what's it called, of Doja, but she puts on a performance. Like she was like, you know what I mean, and she was like perfect amount of weird that you would expect too. Like she had like this mud stuff like the end, like she like did her last song in the mud, and we were all just kind of like, what is happening? But it's Doja, and like her hair dress and all that. We're just like, it's Doja, and I'm like, she's another artist I don't think I would pay to go see by herself, or like she's not one I, but I'm like, I'm glad to say that I got to see her, where I'm just like, wow, she's right there, and I'm like, no, I get it. Like there's some parts where I'm like, okay, yes, you know, so.
Love not on like as big of a scale as Doja, but I felt that way about like Milky Chant and Arctic Monkeys. Like I would have never have paid, a crazy stadium price to see either of
Yeah.
them, but Milky Chance puts on a damn good show, and their light guy, like, give him an award. It's so good. Oh my god, even oh my gosh, Glass Animals. Well, we did pay to see them separately, but that's a really good show. They're
No,
just
I know what you mean, but Milky Chance, they're on my list too. They've been to Van Buren a couple times, but I still haven't seen them. But I'm like, they're on my list. They're on my
but we
list.
saw them at Pot of Gold, remember?
Oh my God,
Yes,
you're
right
right.
after Fall Out Boy, we were like, still like, we're like, oh, Revolution will be playing soon. We'll just stand here for a bit and save our spot. And we saw Milky. That's what I'm saying. It was
I need
so
to
good,
see that
though.
set list again because I feel like I'm like I wasn't even that drunk, but I feel like I don't remember everyone that we saw that pot of gold. I remember we saw Echo Smith, but I'm like, there's not like other big like people I can remember that we saw that day. I need to look up that year's set list.
Was it Pot of Gold? The what was the festival called that we saw Fall Out Boy at?
I don't. Why am I blinking?
Because that was the one we saw Milky Chance at. I don't remember what that one was called
I
though.
don't think it was with. I don't think I've never seen Fall Out Boy.
Have him with me, remember? Because I was jumping up and down, and you and Jazzy went to go sit down on the hill.
Why am I literally not comprehending any of
You are
this?
so there, and I am gonna pull up a Snapchat memory of this because we were in the crowd to dance, and thanks for the memories. We were there, Tori.
Oh
My
shit!
adrenaline was so high that day because like Pete Wentz could have like literally tore his meniscus. He was jumping off of amps, and I would
I
have only gone
literally
with
remember
you.
this shit. That's where I'm like, what is wrong with me right now? I don't remember right now.
Maybe I'm like delusional, but like this was when like 2015 when I had just moved to Arizona, so I wasn't even at ASU yet. I had no friends
I
except for you.
remember like when it was, but I don't remember Fall Out Boy being there. Hold on. I'm like, okay, we'll look at this like because I was like, I'm literally gonna be like go
I don't
down
know.
a whole no, 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 but just festivals in general. I'm just like, I don't remember seeing them. Anyways, but I'm like, it's gonna bug me. I'm like, I need to go look that up. But I'm like, seeing artists in general, we're like, I love festivals, so we need to go to another one together.
Oh, don't even play me right now. I would fucking love that. Oh my god. Just tell me when, because I'm going out in September and November to Arizona already. So if there's a festival around those times, maybe I just stay longer.
No, literally though. And then what's it called? My friends want to go to Lollapalooza this year, which I'm like, it's too soon where I don't think I can swing it right now, but I'm just
Sold
like
out.
they what?
It's sold out.
Oh shoot, really?
Yeah,
I
because
mean
I
to like
can't
step
get
up, I mean like resales and stuff they have, but yeah, no, I get that where it's like because this lineup's pretty good this year too.
if you find it, let me know because I was on the wait list and I just removed myself from it because I was like, I don't want this to randomly charge me. I'd rather just buy it when
Oh
I'm
my
ready.
god, yeah, scary. No, that's how we got our Coachella tickets because we missed the actual sale.
Oh, that's so cool. No, yeah, no, I want to go to Lollapalooza. I was like, that's my birthday weekend, and all these people that were at Coachella are here too. I was like, this is great.
What's the thing? No, literally. Okay, no, I'll look it up too because I was like, step. It wasn't like it was pretty much like the same too. It's just like the fees that kind of were like, but I'm like, it
Right.
came in a package. I got my box. It was like, no, we trust it. There's been a couple things, and then yeah, I got my little Coachella box. It's over there, but I'm like, it's cute. It
I
comes
love
with a
that
little
shit.
like that sticker you see on people's cars. I'm like, I don't know where I want to put it, but I'm like, I have it. So I'm like, what do I want? I have such a hard time putting stickers because I'm like, it's like a tattoo for me, where I'm like, it's a commitment. You know
I know.
me and commitments. I'm like,
I have a great suggestion, and this might be a good segue to our next topic because I would feel the same way. I got literally 150 stickers for my new laptop because I got excited. And but then I was like, I don't want to put it directly on my laptop. Like it's so nice, like it's all clean. Like don't put a bumper sticker on a Bentley. Like I don't want to do that.
oh, honey.
So I bought a cheap case and I've just been like covering
Oh,
it. So
Like those are such cute stickers. I love that.
The
The
getaway
Taylor Swift ones
car.
you get midnight. No, literally, don't you think I did not notice the midnights, everything, the vinyl. You're on your own, kid. One of my favorites. Uh,
Lucky number 8. We love it.
eight. Yeah, the eight ball. Wait, what? I love the eight ball.
So
Ooh,
cute. We need to download 8 Ball again, by the way. Hashtag not sponsored, but that game was so fun.
like the magic eight ball. That's like on the.
No, remember the pool table game?
Oh my god, yeah. So I was like, I still use my magic eight ball app to make decisions.
Libra shit. Hated that. She will totally do that.
It's amazing. And then it really kind of helps you be like decided what you really want. Because then when you see one thing and if you're like, oh, then I'm like, wait, I want the other thing. And you're like, cool.
I know. That's what it's like with Tanner. He tells me what he wants, and I'm like, actually, I take it back. I know exactly what I
Like now you hear it out loud. And I'm like, actually, I know exactly what I
want.
want. But no,
Seriously.
so that's such a Hayden. All Libras everywhere should have that downloaded and ready because it helps me with a lot of things.
I'll download it. Maybe my Libra rising will love it.
You're Libra. Like make it happy. But okay, I feel like we've been talking so much about sorry, I was like Coachella recap, but I'm just like, yes, amazing, highly suggest. It's the hype is real. There of course there are influencers and stuff. You see all that little shit, but whatever. Don't focus on what other people are doing. Just do your thing. And then what's it called? So I feel like everyone hates on weekend one where they're like, it's just all the influencers, and I'm like, sure, but everyone needs their content sometimes too. Leave them alone. And
Yes.
then
Why is that a bad thing? Not that I mean, like, yeah, they want their content, whatever. Why is it bad they want to go? I like a lot of influencers. Like you saw Becca Moore's friend. What's his name? I
Brett.
think.
I
Yeah,
love Brett.
yes, I love him so much. I'm so sorry, dude. I forgot your name for a second, but I'm so glad that you saw him, and you wouldn't have saw him if you didn't go to weekend one. That's a big deal to me.
I know. And he was just casually walking by, and I was like, you know what? I'm not going to say anything. And I was like, no, screw that. Brett! I was like,
How are you?
you're my favorite TikToker, as stupid as it sounds out loud.
I love
But no,
this.
it was so, it's so fun. And I will always go to weekend one because Andrew went to weekend two, but they didn't have as many special guests like the whole weekend, even on stage. So it's like, even in not only the audience, but even like on the stages, they didn't really, like Tyler the Creator didn't bring out anybody.
He
And
had
he brought
two.
out on the second weekend.
I mean, for you.
Yeah, he had 3 or 4. No, because he had ASAP, Callie, Charles Wilson, and then I think there was one more I'm forgetting. Why am I? Oh my God, Childish Gambino. I'm so sorry. But I was like, we have 4, and then I was like, Andrew didn't. They didn't get like anything on like weekend too. But I'm like, it's still like a fun show. You know what I mean? So it's just like I don't know. I don't know.
No, but it's interesting.
It's like that's where I'm like, it really is like the celebs go to weekend one. That's been the thing. But then they say weekend two, it's more of the fun party people that are there for like a great time. Like the crowds are more vibrant and loud, and like
Oh,
artists tend to like the weekend two more than the weekend one. So
well, it's interesting. I don't know. Would you rather go to weekend two next year just to see what it's like to compare it? Yeah, I know. I want to see the people. I want to know who's going just as much as I want to be there.
because then Andrew was like, because when we found out we weren't going to the same weekend, he was like, "Where was weekend two ever in the cards for you?" I'm like, no, no. I'm like, it would still be fun, obviously, if that was like the only thing available. Yes, but I was just like, weekend one has my heart. So then I was recovering from Coachella, and then it was Dakota's birthday. Her and Tim and Natalie were just in town for the weekend, so that was really fun. And yeah, no, it's just been nonstop, go go go, and fun fun fun. But it's just it continues. And then like even this weekend, it's Emma's birthday on the 7th, so we're going to this game show place. So there's literally a place in Arizona that like they have 2 hosts, and it's like Family Feud. So you have like 4 people or like 5 people on each side, and then they like
That's
host
cool.
it for you where they're like bring 2 people, and then there's like a person. So we're all really competitive. So we're gonna get drunk and fight each other.
Good. Is that the same place that Taylor went for hers?
Yes, exactly, exactly.
Oh, and you went to her engagement party too this past month.
Nice. Engagement party. It was so cute. We surprised her and they had no idea. I can keep a secret, everyone. Thank you so much. I spent the entire day with them. And then but we were talking about which games to play. And then I was like, I wonder if we'll have even numbers to play this game. And then she was like, yeah, I don't know who's going. And I was like, me either. As we're like, but then she shows up and we're just like, surprise. So it was really cute. It was cute celebrating their engagement and all that. So just like, oh my gosh. I'm like, we're all like grown up at the same time. Like so cute. So cute. But
That's
yeah,
awesome. Yeah.
and now we're here. I mean, what's it called?
What day
May.
is
No, literally, I'm like, it's how is it May? Like I just don't
it? It's
understand.
already May.
Thank you for reading my mind.
Holy
Like, we
shit.
have to. We're millennials. We have to say it. It's
What
in
else
our
would I
blood. We're
do?
gonna say it. We're millennials. Um, but and then also this month too, or in April, we had the Tortured Poet Department come out. Ah. I'm like, it's becoming Swifty time. So if everyone please exit the building if you're not just Swift. I'm kidding. Or you just might be bored to death.
Yeah.
But also in April, so exciting. We got Taylor Swift number album 11.
We
I'm
love
obsessed. I have not listened to anything else. I wake up in the morning and I just hear random songs. It like differs. It really just differs. So I love it. I will like I know it's like the first listen, it kind of took everyone like a second or even took people like a week. I will say I have a Swifty friend that doesn't like it at all, and I was shocked by that. And I was just like, she's a huge Swifty, where she was just kind of like, it's not vibing with me for some reason. I'm like, it will happen. It will happen. But yes, I'm a nerd. I have my Taylor Swift shirt on right now and my little Tortured Poet necklace. So
I'm the worst. I would have my Eras cup, but my husband was using it outside, so now I don't have it.
no, we
So
love that Taylor was using it. So
yeah, exactly. That's so little moment right there. I
exactly.
loved it. I mean, I didn't. I was on that same wagon. I listened to it. So like our anniversary is 420, 419. The album comes out. I stay up till midnight. I turn it on, and I'm just kind of like, wow, this is making me like hate relationships and be a little sad right now. And it's probably
That's
not
where I'm like, the timing is a little rough with that because it's definitely like a little heartbreak album, which I'm like, I love it.
and Tanner's like, "Why are you sobbing right now?" And I'm just like, I'm just really feeling it in the best way. So, and then to top it off, I was getting like these new vinyls as my anniversary present, and I don't even want to listen to them because I want to listen to the new album. Not that I don't want to listen to the vinyls. I listen to each of them as they have
You know
arrived.
most of them already, yeah.
I love them. I'm happy that they're here. They are so treasured, and I will listen to them for the rest of my life. But I really need to know the lore into this next album, especially since it was a double album release, basically. Yeah.
Can we just talk about how I was expecting a full on Joe Allen just breakup, like, let's go, we're going to war.
Take
And
it.
it was a surprise. It was and not going to war. Sorry, I'm not that Swifty where I'm like, I'm not hating his comments with all that shit. No, thank you. Like,
I
let the
hate.
man be. Let the man be. And like, he was a good for her at one point. We gotta like thank you, Joe. I'm just kidding. But what's it called? I was expecting a full on like, all right, let's go. We're gonna learn the tea about what happened with her and Joe. But we just realized we got an album of her and Maddie Healy's situationship of 10 years. So juicy. And I'm like,
We had no idea.
I know. Cause I was just like, there's so many other things. I was like, I thought they were friends, maybe. But I was like, no, it's a whole different. They had a situationship. He was always that one that was like, hey, are you busy? Like, just like, are you free? Are you like single right now? And it's like,
That
oh, it's
fucker.
yeah, no, it's literally where it's just like we all kind of have one where it like lingers around. But yeah, no, it was a huge shock. And I love seeing all the like Taylor Swift TikToks or like the or Swift talks where it's just like all the videos of fans being like, okay, let's like figure this out together because there's just so many pieces to it and I don't even know where to start and I don't even know if we can get into like all in this episode, but I'm just like
Ooh.
please educate yourselves if you haven't seen like or just I don't know there's so many parts to this and I feel like it's a bunch of her. I think it's not just Maddie Healy. I think it's a bunch of her like other past relationships that just kind of just like mixing in and it's kind of like a hey like let me just like she said that these are our stories now. She's just like these are your songs now like please just like they're yours and I think it's kind of her just being like let me clean out my closet where it's just like
Let me get off
so
my chest. Yeah.
exactly. So I'm
No,
a
I
big fan.
totally agree. I feel like, to your point, it is so much about like having to educate yourself because I spent like maybe an hour today just like going through Swift Talk trying to understand like the Matt Healy relationship in general because like I didn't like him, but I didn't know why. Like I wasn't following all of the terrible things he was doing. I just didn't like him. Like if he
There's
came on
just
my For You,
something that we're all like, there's just like,
I
I
just
don't understand it. But then, like, as I'm seeing more videos come out, I'm like, okay, I could see like the random good parts and stuff about him that I'm like, okay. But as a like 1975 fan, I get you even with that, where I was like, and sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I'm like, I get you so much on that, where I'm just like, I wasn't a fan of him that much, but I love the music he creates so much that it's hard. It's like,
Aw. See, like I know that I know 19 sorry, my dogs. I know that I know 1975 songs. I couldn't tell you their names, but I'm like that with a lot of bands. I don't mean it like personally.
no,
Know
it's
that
like
I've
you
liked them.
listen to things on the side and it's you're not like, who is this band? I don't know. Like,
Like I like it and I know it's there, but I don't remember what it's called. And I didn't realize that he was just so gross. Like he was kissing like random people like at the concerts. And I know some people like that that
they're
trend
like
stuff,
that made
but
me cringe. The robbers, I know exactly what you're talking about when he would sing robbers, and then it was like, now everybody's dead. It was like right before that he would like fully make out, and like guys and girls on the
yeah,
stage.
yeah. And I'm not into that. I don't like it when girls like throw things onto the stage. I don't like that kind of stuff. That's not what I go to the shows for. So like that element isn't cute to me. So like and then seeing him dance at the concerts, I just was like, he's just not my vibe. She must know something I don't know. And so that's what it is. So hearing an entire album about him was really weird for me because I was like, this guy. But then I resurfaced one of her interviews. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. I think it was 2014 or something. She literally would be like, I don't know why this one person can move me to write an entire album about them, but someone else doesn't. She's like, obviously, I would think that this person would leave an impact and create like some sort of music from
Spark
this.
something for like
Yes.
creativity or inspiration.
Yeah, like think even just All Too Well with Jake Gyllenhaal, 3 months rocked her world. Do you know what I mean? And I
That wasn't not insane to me, but that was like a shook where I was just like, I love, but that like validates me so much. Where I'm just like, it doesn't
yeah,
have to be like a whole long relationship for you to still feel a 10-minute all too well version song. You know,
oh, I cannot wait to play that on the red vinyl, dude, in my house on full blast. I cannot wait.
send me a video when you do. I love Red.
Oh, it got delivered today. That's why I'm saying that. It had a
Red.
fragile sticker on it. So yeah, that kind of stuff rocked my world. I just loved I didn't love them individually. I liked the whole album as like as if the it's one hour long song. It's like that's how I learned to love it.
Story where it's like you just listen to it. Yeah, like
Yes. And then I would be like, wow, this chorus line like really hits right now. And I would go back and I'd be like, oh, the black dog, love it. And that's how I realized. But I was kind of like that with folklore. Like I had to listen to the whole album like in an hour's length. And then I would be like, ooh, this one really like kicked it up just like a little bit more. And I loved
and then you kind of like the other songs now a little bit more. You know what I mean? Where it's kind of like you're like, I get this, or like, oh, now this one intrigues me a little bit more. And
it.
that's where I love where she has all her different genres now, where it's like I know people where it's like Folklore and Evermore, their favorite albums, and it's like people are like, I don't vibe with that as much, but 1989 and Red, and it's like there's just something for everybody, which I love. Where it's just kind of like you might not vibe it, or you might not vibe it with it at first, and then you're kind of like, actually, like, no, I get it now, or it just kind of took a second to like register with some stuff, but
Oh,
no, I
sounds
love. Did you like Midnights right away? I'm curious because people are comparing like Midnights with they say like it's like Midnights and Folklore had a baby, and then this is Tortured Poets Department. I keep trying to say Society because of the movie.
that's funny. I need to watch that. I haven't really watched that in a long time. No,
Williams.
actually, that is like such a freaking good comparison. Midnight's and Folklore had a baby and is tortured poets. I would completely agree, actually.
The lyrics
Midnight's
are folklore, but then like the music background's definitely like the Midnights were like,
it's
like
like poppy and a little bit, and I like that. I agree. Honestly, I'm one of those people who like wasn't obsessed with Lover because I felt like it was very like bubblegum, which was super fun after like just sometimes Taylor just like is kind of sad, so it's nice to have like a little Lover. But some of her songs on Lover is also like they're kind of like sad at the same time, so it gives me like mixed emotions.
well, that's the thing that like fans are realizing is like Lover, you kind of like you're expecting like from the title, right? You're like, this is a whole love album. Like it's gonna be just all happy things. But people are realizing Lover is actually a very anxiety driven song or like an album in general, but even just kind of like Lover, like we're kind of like dissecting it. We're just like, oh, maybe she wasn't as stable with Joe as we thought. And even in like Lover, where she's like, can I go where you go? Where it's like she doesn't know for sure if he's gonna let her. She's like asking, where she's like, can I go? And I know it's like trying to be just like where you're like happy and everything, but there's just so many like things where it just sounds like if you re-listen to it now or just like the whole album in general, where you're just like, wow, this is a whole different perspective of like she wasn't completely sure with him, like, or just kind of
Yeah.
like, I mean, Daylight, there's so many things that we thought that was like, yes, she found like the one she thought she wanted to see red, but no, it was Daylight she wanted to see. But it's just like now we listen to Straight Out the Slammer, or oh my gosh, South the Slammer. Oh my God, sorry, it's one of my literal Fresh Out the Slammer. Sorry, I couldn't think of the first word
No,
for a
don't feel
second,
bad.
but
All the
and
discography is blending together for me, and a lot of the songs are too, because I am so deep in the rabbit hole. So don't feel bad. We're gonna need
And
to
she
pull
has
out.
some, I mean, she just added 30 new songs for us to be like, okay, blah, blah, blah. And some people use letters where I'm just like, I need a second to think about it.
Yeah.
When in Fresh Out the Slammer, she's talking about like in one of the chorus, she's saying like she like did all this just for 1 hour of sunshine. Because, you know, like comparing it to jail where you're like, okay, like they only let like prison mates like out to go see daylight for like a certain amount of time. So it's kind of like she was using that analogy with being in a relationship and now finally where she's like, feels like she's in jail, but there's like the good, random good moments, right? Where she was like, well, I'm going to stay with him because we had that like one good day. Like, why would I like leave that? But it's like, so she's kind of like comparing and how that 1 hour of daylight to jail is kind of like, okay. Like, and just kind of comparing with Lover, how it was like, to use daylight and as like a title. So I was listening to as like a Swiftie for how many years where I'm just like, oh no, she's like tying all of her discography together. Where I was just like, I kind of get this reference where it's like it can be an analogy to this, but as like her past, and I'm like, daylight, hello, I'm thinking of something, you know what I mean? Where it's just there's so many connections. It's crazy the amount of different things that other Swifties find. I'm like, I learn something new every day. It's just her mind. And I don't know if we're just all crazy that we're like, we find these things, or if she planned these things or what, but it's amazing. It's
Oh,
fun.
I think she does a lot of things that are more intentional than we realize. Like she directly cited songs that like Maddie Healy is like known for like really loving. She like directly, like talks about how like people are asking for pills and stuff like that, and it's like who she's talking. It's just weird stuff like that.
And she
Um,
uses a lot of the 1975-ish sound, like the background sounds, because even Jessica, she like heard Fortnite and she was like immediately, she was like, this sounds like the back, like she like, okay, so she was scrolling TikTok and there was a spoiler of like before it was released, someone like released the song and she immediately like exited out. She was like, no, but she was like, but the 5 seconds I heard, she was like, it sounds kind of like a 1975 song. She's like, if it's real, like that's what I heard. And then when it came out, she was like, no, that's it. And I was like, that's so weird you said 1975 because now this is a whole Maddie Healy album, you know? But it's like Taylor does that shit because in Dear John, which is about John Mayer, she plays little guitar riffs that sound like some of his songs. So it's kind of like,
it's to nod
hey,
at them. Yeah,
exactly. It's kind of like, you know, like this is about you. And I love that. We're just kind of like, hey, no, like it's like playing around with different sounds and it's like making nods of different things that we can tie together. But
I heard that the entire album is actually supposed to be made with the 1975, and she had to redo the whole album, and that's why it sounds so similar to them. That's what I heard.
because
And
even well in her 1989 vault tracks, she does a song called
yeah,
Slut, and some of the
that's,
vinyls that were already printed out, it had Slut featuring 1975 printed on it. And then Matty Healy did
that's
even confirm he was like, we did record it together. He was like, I was like surprised. Like he's like, it's okay. Like he wasn't offended. He was like, and you know, like it wasn't the direction she wanted to go in, but like she ended up taking him off and ended up releasing this whole album now. So I don't know. It's a as a 1975 and Taylor Swift fan, it's like, oof! I can't wait for his album now too. I'm like, what a fun game.
about something kind of sad, and maybe we need a trigger warning this. I know that like I'm very sensitive to this topic, so I know lots of people are. But did you hear that like she's basically been like confirming that like she had a miscarriage in this album? Did you
I
hear
don't
that?
know I don't know what songs on this album, but I know from Midnight's the 3 a.m. edition. There's Bigger Than the Whole Sky. I can never say that title correctly.
I
Um,
said something about this album though too. I can't remember exactly what song it was, but they were comparing man, I'd have to pull it up now too.
I know
But
because I'm like I feel like I don't know with this one. I'm trying to think of
it was
what.
Chloe, the one that has all of the girls' names and Marcus and something else's name in it. Do you remember what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
That's they were saying that that was supposed to be the possible kids' names that she was going to name the baby if it had lived.
how people can do their own like perceptions of like how her writing is like it can mean something totally different to somebody else where it's like I like heard that Chloe Marcus and Everything song because Maddie Healy, he was always known for making up with guys and girls. And then in the beginning, she was like talking about how she was like seeing him like with all either like she's like and kind of listing the names for she's like, I don't know if it was a Chloe, Sam, or a Marcus. Like I really don't care. But it was just like one of those people that
Oh,
I knew I saw you with. So that's interesting. I didn't hear their perspective that those were possibly like names of children. I
yeah.
thought the song more was kind of like calling him out that she can see that like, hey, I know you're with other people and I don't really care. Like it was a Chloe or a Sam or a Marcus. Like it was kind of just like
Right.
it doesn't mean anything to me, but like I know you saw one of them or you were with one of them, you know? So it's just like
This is why I need
I,
her to just come out and confirm things because I get like so many lines get crossed, and sometimes people have you ever noticed like the TikTok searches in the comments of these videos? You click on it and it's just the most ridiculous thing you ever seen.
yeah, no, definitely. Where
Like
it's
you
just
didn't
like
even talk about what you said.
or people just take things so out of context where it's just like
Yeah,
or but that's where it's like I love it and I hate it where it's like it's a fun thing because it's like people can do their own perspectives or I love that you can it's one song but it can mean so many different things to like everybody, you know, but it's just like
that's
she
true.
had like her lyrics but it's like resonates with everyone so differently, so I'm like that's where I love them. Like if it did help someone with like their situation of like hey no this is a song about her maybe possibly having like a miscarriage and like sorry trigger warning again with like this conversation but it's just like I
Yeah.
remember when Midnight's 3 a.m. version, that definitely was a conversation because it was like you talked about her being in a red soaked gown or a blood soaked gown and everything. Where I'm just like,
But
why
you
would else would
mentioned
she
that.
be in a blood soaked gown? But then also people were saying it could be a comparison to Carrie, you know, like at that movie Carrie where all the blood like drips on her and like or
Yeah,
they like, poured that on her. It was just like an embarrassing moment where you're just kind of like you're stripped dry. I think that was like maybe that could be also
same.
being a comparison. So it's really just like it can mean so many different things, but with one song. So that's where I'm just like, I love. That's where I meant about the fun part. That's the only part that I was to
No, no, no.
clarify.
It can go in so many ways. That's the beauty of it all. No, I totally agree. I
That's where
totally.
I'm like, I really want her. Have you read Evelyn Hugo? Evelyn Hugo, or it's just like, but there's a book called or the Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, and she basically like the person in the book like she's a famous actress and she like when as she's like getting older she chooses a girl to write her entire life and it kind of just like
Oh,
exposes everything of kind of like oh no like people in Hollywood thought this was going on but actually this was going on behind the scenes and it's like right and it's so fun it's so juicy I highly suggest it it's been it was like one of my favorite books I read last year but it just kind of kept me going where I was just like, oh my gosh, oh my, like what's going on next? But I feel like I can see or like, or the fans see a lot of similarities with Evelyn Hugo and Taylor Swift. And people were saying like, I hope when she's 80 or how old, like when we're all like kind of over, like where she's like, whatever, that's a thing in my past that she releases like a little like, and here is all of the stories, like actual like what happened in my life. And it's like doesn't mean anything as much anymore because it's been how many years. But and I'm like, that's just too much of like we don't she doesn't owe us that at all. But I'm just like it'd be kind of fun just to be like, no, really, what was your thought process with which with the songs? And then if it's like, were people on the right track, or was this completely different of how we interpreted it? And does she just sit and laugh and be like, oh, or not laugh, but just kind of like, oh, cool, like it's like people like different perspectives of like, or being like, oh my god, you thought it's about this guy, okay, you know, it's like sounds good, next, like you know, so
yeah.
and I don't even know if you've seen like this side of TikTok or just kind of like heard this thing. Dakota like mentioned it to me years ago, and then I kind of like dug into it, and I'm like, wait a minute. But there were like rumors of her and Carly Klaus being a thing, even
I
like, and then
just
and it's
yeah
like
today, and then I was like, why can't she just have a best friend?
that's where it's like, and that's where I was like, everyone has their different or perspectives on it, or like precipitation, or God, I cannot talk today, but like their perspectives of just kind of like maybe because it like they are gay, where it's like okay, now this like relates to them in a way, but I'm like, don't force it on someone, like unless they like come out themselves, like you know, like then you can like talk away. But I'm just like, it's an interesting theory to me, but I'm also kind of like, I would hate if people were kind of like, oh, they're dating about like me and you, or you know what I mean? Where it's just like, just
Yeah,
because you're close with someone that they're like, oh, they have to be dating. And it's just like, no, you can just have a close best friend. Thanks. Like, but there are a lot of things in it where I'm like, I can see why they side eye certain things, but I'm also like, unless she says it herself, like, let it go, people. But that's like a whole different thing too. But it
Yeah.
was like, and then I remember like one year she actually tweeted, she's like, for my birthday this year, I would like you guys to stop speculating I'm dating my friends. And I
It's
was
a
just like, I think that's a case closed. Yeah. Where I was just like,
give Taylor a break. I totally agree. Like,
oh
just let
yeah.
her release music and like without all the speculation because it's got to be hard for her. Oh, we haven't even talked about what you think Travis and Taylor's songs are and stuff like that. I love them and I would love to just talk about them for a
Well,
second even.
obviously, So High School. We got a happy So High School. That one's like the
You
cutesy
got
song of like the album where I'm like, oh, I'm kicking my feet. And then The Alchemy is supposedly about him too. But it's like that's also something people are speculating because it's like it's too obvious with her being like touchdown, dun, dun, and it's like using all these football terms where it's just like, yes, that could be, but I'm just like maybe it is means something. God, I can't remember who else they were like, no, this is actually about this person. They're talking about these comparisons where I'm just like, I don't really see it as much where I'm like, I think it is like we got two Travis songs, like two happy little Travis songs. So I'm like,
Oh,
please, let's just like keep it like for that. But So High School and The Alchemy are supposed to be about him, supposedly.
I love
Allegedly. Um, but no, it was cute. Like the So High School song, I'm like, no, that has to be because it's just like it makes me happy because she didn't really have her like I mean, she became famous what when she was
it.
15? Like where it's just like where it's just she didn't have that normal high school life and then like or be where it's just kind of like or even her childhood growing up like she was 19 just in the spotlight all the time after when she became famous and it's like she didn't have those normal dating things and finally she has Travis that's like okay yeah let me like open the car door for you and just like do all these things and it's just like we're gonna go hang out with my friends now you're gonna go to my game and wear my jacket and it's just like she gets a little giddy where it's just like she made You Belong With Me so long where she was like I'm on the bleachers and now she has a little like I don't know she's still like in the stands don't get me wrong but it's just cute to be like now she has her little cutesy moment where people are like because in so many songs she's kind of like you took my youth from me like there's even a new song I can't remember which one right now I think it's So Long London that she references of just kind of like you like I'm mad that you took my youth and so many other like old songs she just kind of just like give me back my girlhood and would have could have should have where she was just like it was mine but you took it from me because I was in a relationship with you at such this young age but it's just so heartwarming to see her now with Travis that it's kind of like she gets a little bit of like that childhood like giddy feel or just kind of like that young like love feel of like giddiness so I'm just kind of like it was really cute to see that song and people are like hating on the like she needs to grow up and I'm like it's supposed to like the title says So High School it's supposed to sound like a like cheesy rom-com movie like it literally people like the backgrounds I'm like this could be in a 90s or 2000s sitcom that we would watch you know what I mean where I was just like
I
I
know
love
it
that
is.
like people are comparing them to like a Cinderella story because it's like football and then like the blonde and the bleachers.
Oh, amazing. I hope it is.
But I'm like, it was a whole different like story, I guess, of like how you know what I mean. They like, but it's still just like cute with like oh little rom com vibes. But no, big fan of So High School too. I'm just like, of course I like love my little sad girl era songs, but the
It's
the
we
So
love
High School song, I'm like that is adorable, and I can't wait for like even more Travis songs or just like happiness. And I'm like, oh, it's so
I
cute. Did
love
you see them at the gala or there was a auction, a Patrick Mahomes auction that they were at the other night together?
the only video I saw from that night was when he was leading her to the table and she looked a little lost. That was the only video I saw. I didn't search it anymore because I don't know, I was doing other research on her and that came up and I was like, we'll come back.
You're like, this isn't what I'm trying to look for right now.
Yeah, I'm
No, they
like,
were just so cute. And then they were auctioning off Eras tickets, and he was like, I talked to my significant other earlier today, and it was just like he's just like sitting there. And then it was so. I just love seeing how real the relationship is too, because then he started doing that Viva Las Vegas shit again, where he's like Viva Las, and you literally there's a video of her, and she turns and she's like, not this again. She's like, I can't do this again, and it's just kind of like because it's just like so normal. You're just like no, like that's your person, you're like cringing where it's like, please stop. Like, I thought we talked about not doing this again, but he's doing it again. Like,
remember we spoke clearly about
conversation.
I would
um,
love to hear the pillow talk of her being like, so that was cute, but like
like,
maybe not doing that as the song
congrats
is
on winning the Super Bowl. So happy for you. So proud of you. Viva Las Vegas.
maybe Betty and the Jets or like Sweet
Maybe
Caroline.
I can help you. Let's change it up a little bit next time.
We got different
uh,
options. No, I love
yeah.
it. When I watched Victoria Brown do the debrief with her
I
husband about So
love
High School,
those
I loved
series so
it even more. So good. I didn't love the song because I didn't want to like resonate on high school vibes. So I wasn't like feeling it. But when I heard the debrief from Victoria Brown, I really loved it because like Max got stoked when she brought up GTA. And then I saw another little bit.
He's like, "What the reference, Taylor?" Yeah.
Yeah, so I loved that. I was like, oh, okay, that's cute for the boys. And then I also loved when they were talking about they also referenced the GTA thing in a different video, and they were talking about like the one, two, and then the Scouts Honor. Have you heard that yet?
The Scouts are that's in so high school. They're like
Yeah.
Scouts. Oh, what's the
So
thing?
they're saying it's like a reference to like him like fooling around with her while he's playing GTA.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Where it's like the
I
thing,
didn't
or
realize that listening to the song, and then when someone was debriefing it, I was like, oh my god.
she's just like talking about her. She's like, I'm trying to keep my size down. Like your friends are in the other room. Where she was just kind of like, she's just like trying to keep my size like quite. I'm just like, oh my gosh, Taylor. Like,
Not the three finger thing. I didn't get that part. Like I didn't get like he was like
oh no, sorry. I just connected what you're saying now.
oh yeah, that's I didn't get that. Like I was like, "Oh my gosh." I was like it really went deep with the lyrics, ma'am.
As I was just like, oh, what a little like wholesome thing.
I was like,
No,
"Oh shit, deep." And then
completely
I was like, "Oh,
opposite.
she's naughty." Yeah. So
No.
yeah. So yeah. It's been really fun watching Swift Talk. That's all I've really been watching. I haven't really watched much else on TikTok lately.
That's where I'm like, and now that the rumors are kind of going around that TikTok's going to be banned completely in the US, I'm like,
What's
gotta
that?
enjoy it while I can. Gotta enjoy it while I can if that's going to be like a Vine 2.0. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
does government not have anything else better to focus about rather than our TikTok
So
use?
many things. So
Um,
many things they could be
but
focused.
that's a whole, I'm like, we won't get into politics here, but I'm just like, oh my gosh. Not, and that's not like political, but you know what I mean. But
I'm
yeah,
not
I
like
don't know.
sad TikTok's going away. I'm just kind of like, so is Instagram gonna level up? Those are my thoughts. It's
That's
not
where
like
I'm like, I know reels are like basically TikToks like just posted on Instagram, but I'm like, so you guys just gonna go like completely there now, and I gotta follow all my people. But I'm like, how do you find the random people? You know, or I'm like, that's what I love about TikTok is just like majority of people I don't know. I love that part about TikTok where I'm just like, bye, I see enough of you on Instagram and all that Facebook, and I'm just like, TikTok is my getaway. So I don't know. I'm curious to see how that's going to play out because I'm like, that's a lot of people's livelihoods that are going to be affected too. And
what?
it's just like, I don't know, just certain things where I'm just like, why can't we have a freedom of speech app where I'm like, I learned so many things or just event wise where I'm like, I had no idea this happened today unless I opened this thing today. And maybe I should open up a couple more news apps. Yes. But like, that's my business.
And they cost money.
Yeah. After I read two, they're like, go ahead and subscribe. And I'm just like, I want to read more and not have to pay for it. And that sounds very entitled. But I'm like, I appreciate all the journalists out there. But I'm like, TikTok's a free journalist for me.
And I
So I'm
can
really
just like,
curious how that's going to play out. So until then, I'm going to enjoy all my Taylor Swift TikToks. Thank you so much. And learning more theories. And I'm like, that's been my last 2 weeks. I'm like, we actually hit the 2 week mark right now of having the album out. So I'm just like,
a
literally,
fortnight.
yeah.
My gosh, something was supposed to did you hear the thing about how Post Malone was like posed with the 5 and the 3 and how there's supposed to be like something happening on 5-3?
Oh yeah, there like I there's that's where I'm like the brains of Swifties. It's so fun sometimes. Where I'm like, if they ever need like more FBI's, like they need to look into getting the Swifties on the team. But there's just so many theories that have come and gone that haven't been true that it's hard for me to get excited at this point as much. Like I used to literally be like, today's the day. We're getting Reputation. I'm like, I'm wearing my sweatshirt today. Like it's happening. I was like, look at all this proof. Like there's no way we're not getting this announced today. And then it was like, no, we didn't. You know what I mean? So I was just kind of like, after a while, I'm just like, I love reading those things. I love seeing people put maps
You get it.
together and like puzzles where I'm just like, no, I love that their brain works in a certain way where I'm like, oh my gosh, like where it's just like, yes. But then I'm like, some things I'm like, I don't think that's gonna happen, but I love that you think that's going, where it's just like
I
keep
it
like
does.
I'm like some of them actually happen to be true because even like the whole oh my god, double album theory that was a whole span like a fan speculation where they're like no because she kept doing like at the Grammys during her speech she was just like I have like I can't remember what she was saying in the speech, but she was just like in like 2 years, and she kept doing two, and then she did like a little like mischievous look, but it's like two, and then we're kind of like there were so many different two things where she just
Oh
kept
my
doing the
god.
peace sign, and we're like, what does the two mean? What does the two mean? And then when the double album actually came out at 2 a.m., I was like, Okay, we were actually right about something because it was 2 a.m. Eastern time she released. So it was just like, no, literally, I have like a clowns group chat. Clowns in the West is me and my Swiftie like friends group chat name because it's a folklore lyric, and I'm like, we're in the West Coast, but we just clown in there. Where we're just like, do you think like this is gonna happen this week? And I'm like, let's see. And usually, and then that happened. We're just kind of like, we won. Like we were just like, we finally got something because after all these theories, sometimes it's just like it'll happen when it's supposed to. It's like Girly will release it when we need to.
What did you hear about her braids? I remember hearing something about how she was rocking braids for a long time, but I don't remember what the significance was to the album.
I don't like. I know her Evermore and Folklore era. She definitely it's like that's her braided look, as we know, where it's just like the little like
No, no, they were talking about how she had a braid at the Grammys with like her outfit she just wore, and like
oh,
braids during like all of the football sightings. She would have like a single braid
I know you're
here.
talking like with the just like the strips of braids. Sorry, I thought you meant like her braided up hair sort of thing. I was just like,
You know,
um,
we're on PTPD time. I was
I know,
like,
but you're like, you're like, get out of here, folklore and evermore.
yep.
No, because then people were thinking, because I think they were like, I don't know. That's where I'm just like, I want to be like, that's just her hairstyle. But I'm like, at the same time, someone posted, have you seen there's this Instagram and it's like Taylor Swift looks, but it's like after she's like seen
Mhm.
somewhere, people will go find like the exact type of like brand and everything. So if you want to buy it or just kind of
Wow.
like know exactly like what it is, but um for some of the New York shots that she like had over like a couple months ago and everything. And when she went into the recording studio, some of the shirt names were Cassandra, Robin, and it was like what was there was one more, oh like Peter, but it was like she literally found brand name shirts to be like, oh, this is like the Cassandra. So if you go to this like style thing where it's just like Taylor was spotted in the Cassandra shirt, but like months ago that meant nothing to us. But then now we go back and we're just like, this bitch. Like she literally it's just like random clothing even that she's just like, you don't know, but I do. Like it's like I don't know. That's where I'm like, I see why people read into everything so much because it really does. Like she plants Easter eggs and everything. And that's where I'm like, it's so cool. Like it keeps us entertained of like, let me go like look for things or I don't know. So it's a fun fandom. I know we're crazy sometimes, but it's
For a
fun.
good time.
We're a great
Time.
time. And just like it keeps us like activated. So, but I'm curious to see what the other like things come out because only been 2 weeks since the album came out. So I'm curious to see just like she's starting her Eras tour again in a week from now. So and people have been seeing rehearsals that have canes and that there's been like the TTPD logo in the background. So I think she's adding it to the set list and that's going to be amazing. But I'm like, girlie, you're already playing for 3:15, 3 hours and 15 minutes. Like, she's like, got more time. So, but yeah, I'm excited to see that. And if she does play like I Can Do It with the Broken Heart and how like full circle that will be of like, hey, now you guys know I was like actually miserable when I wrote the song and doing the Eras tour and crying myself like right after performing with a smile on. But it's just like, I don't know. Which reminds me, remember in the Katy Perry movie when Russell Brand broke up with her and then she had to go play immediately after, and she literally was just like bawling, and then she's like, "Let's go, put my makeup on," and then she like wipes tears again before she goes on stage, but like puts on a smile. Like literally, it shows her like crying, and then she's like, "Okay, we gotta go," and it's like that's her job, but it's just like. I just love it's like even though they're celeb or like Taylor's like a superstar like performing on stage, like we can relate to it as like just our everyday lives where we're just like, hey, we all struggle mentally sometimes. We're just like, I have to go put on a brave face today and like go see the world that I don't really want to see today. But it's just like, I don't know, hearing those perspectives, I'm just like, thanks for putting in our words, girly. Or different, I don't know.
No,
But yeah.
that song has been helping my mental health lately. Like I had a little like Meredith Grey dance party today when I was
Yep.
like having a little low moment and I was like, I need to replace my tire, I need to do all this stupid stuff. And I was like doing just something busy with my hands and I just like started having a little dance moment and I was like, I really needed this. I really hope that if she does do any songs for Eras for the next like leg of the tour, I hope she does I Can Do It with a Broken Heart because I hope she does it first so that the intro gets recognized for how freaking bold that was as an Easter egg. Do
No,
you think?
exactly. And then
I
even
think
just like the counts that she has in there, because like the guy that's like 1, 2, 3, 4, that's like to hear that in your ears and you put that in a song, like crushed me. Like literally all like we kind of as a fandom all felt guilty after that song because it's like as the crowd was chanting more and as we're always kind of like, are you gonna give us a double album or not? And I'm like, no,
Girl,
like why are we like this? Like we should be like, you know. And then
poor
as she released the double album, I was like, I'm overwhelmed. I need a second to get the first half, and then I will start the second half. And I'm just like, we're so annoying for that. Where we're just like, we want the double album. I'm so overwhelmed. I'm like, no, girlie, just do what you want. Blondie, just do.
no, it's worth it. I mean, even like Elise Myers, she did like an hour and
Ah,
50.
I love Elise. Yeah.
Yeah, she made an hour
Also,
and
like she
50
did a
long.
little like her like reactions like to listening to the album for the first time. I wish I did that. I should have done that. I've been meaning to the last couple like last albums or just like new songs in general, but I was very much of just like my glass of wine and reading the lyrics and feeling it all. It was amazing.
Well, this is kind of like your reaction video. Like, what was your favorite? Like, name your top five. I know you already told me, but I want to hear it again.
Immediately, which I don't think like this is like a little unexpected, but the first listen, I mean, I can do with the broken heart. That was like a first one where I was just like, oh my god. But fresh out the slammer, which I peeped, it's like not as but down bad. I think everyone we all love down bad. And then guilty as sin. Ooh, injected in my vein. And then uh my boy breaks his favorite toys. I love those ones. And that's like the first half because then we have the prophecy and Peter or my like
Oh,
whew,
those are good ones.
really hit me hard with those two. And I'm like, that's when I'm like, I gotta and I hate it here. I mean,
Oh,
what? That's where I'm just like, I mean, you're like, tell me your favorites. I list like half the album, but I'm just like, it really does change like every other day where I'm just like, wait a minute, like I love this one.
Girls
And
on you.
honorary mentions Fortnite in Florida. Love these features of this album. Could not ask for more. Like literally, I mean, a little bit more posty maybe, but love both of those so
Yeah.
much.
I definitely enjoyed Florida more than I thought I would. I didn't love it though. I really did love the Post Malone one. I was expecting more of like a hook because she had been seen complimenting Post Malone on his hook. I was expecting more of like a bass drop or something. But
No,
I will say though, I loved hearing him sing. He's such a good singer, and I know he kind of sings in all of his songs, but like he really sang, I feel like. So I
can you
love
see us going country? Like I'm just like that's where it was like such a good like transition, I think. And he just did a song with Beyonce too, Levi Jeans. I'm like I love that one too. That was actually one of my favorite on Cowboy Carter. But
that.
no, he's just I love Posty. I have for years. He'll always
Yeah.
have a like special place in my heart. And it's no, it's so fun seeing him actually like sing. And I can't wait for his country album. He has a new song with Morgan Wallen or Morgan
Wait,
Wallen. Wallen, I can never say it.
Waylon.
Waylon. I'm like Wallen, wagon.
I hear he's going to jail.
Yeah, he threw a chair at a bar, but then he got out of it because he was just at Stagecoach this weekend. So I'm pretty sure, unless he has to go to trial or something for it, but that man was out and about. But I'm like, oh, I love that you did a song with Posty. So I'm in my country phase right now. I'm like, I'm excited to hear that, like a little summer song. But yeah, no, I love Posty, and I agree. Did you see the video with them, the Fortnite music video?
I freaking love it. I think that they had chemistry the whole time. That's what. Okay, so I saw this video. I wish I could remember the creator. If I find it, I'm gonna repost it because it was so good. This woman was pretending to be Taylor Swift and Post Malone, and she had the Posty filter on her face, and she was like being Taylor, and it was just kind of like him, like in awe of her, and just like realizing, like, wow, this girl is great. Like, I'm not even having to fake this chemistry. Da 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 da. And then all of a sudden, she says the line where she's like, I'm gonna kill her," or whatever it is. Lines are
Or like,
hard.
I wanna kill her. Yeah, I
Yeah,
wanna
it's like
kill
midnight here.
her. Yeah.
And then Post Malone's like, or like her impression of him, and I cackle laughed. It was like out of nowhere, and I was at work, and I had to like play it off like I was just like casually not on my phone. I was like, "Ha,
You're like, what do you mean? I'm just laughing at you. I'm just kidding.
this is good."
No,
Um,
people get so creative with those, and I'm like, it's so funny. I love all the memes and the videos coming out about it.
Honestly, Post Malone is like there with Seth Rogen for me. I don't know why I find them both attractive, but they're
Yes,
there for me. I might have said this,
completely.
but I don't know why. I
No,
love their
thousand
energy.
percent would. 1000% would.
No,
Mar-
it's crazy.
like marry them in a heartbeat. No, I'm just like, but like,
Yeah.
I love both of them. No, say no, Seth Rogen. Thank you. That's why Jessica
No,
and DJ put him on my cake, my birthday cake of all my crushes. Seth Rogen made the list. So
Well, I'm gonna also tell you my favorites. I don't know if I can name
Yeah,
five
sorry,
right
I was like, I was getting there, but I was like, I know we go on so many tangents. I'm like, but I want to hear your favorites.
this will be like our last little blip, and then we'll shut it. We'll close it down here. But I also love Guilty as Sin. I also love the Can Do It with a Broken Heart. So good. Peter's good too. Love that. I love Cassandra. I love the Black Dog. So good.
Oh, Black Dog's another good one to mention. Oh,
Yes.
the
Fortnite.
screaming, the like screaming. I'm like, ah.
So good. Oh yeah, that one's good. I get like real hyped at work when I'm listening to that in my earbud, and it's so out of context too when you get that feeling. Um, Also, Fortnite, I do love. I will listen to that. What's the other one? I sing it all the time.
God.
Uh, what's the mean one?
Oh,
Who's Wait,
who's afraid of little old me? Yeah.
yes, I sing that constantly, and then I'm like, you should be, and then I'm like, this is actually like, I can't just sing this in public. This is like actually
And they're
like
like,
advertising, but
walk away, sweetie. Like, just they're like,
yeah,
please walk faster. No,
no,
I've been loving no, that's trend. Have you been seeing on TikTok people have been using like their dogs or like golden retrievers and stuff? But it's like it shows like an angel picture of they're just like, who's afraid of little old me? And it's just kind of like this. And then it's like, you should be, and it's like their teeth out of being like, ah, but it's just like I love those little trends that people do. And it's like, no, that one's a good one too. That one I had like chills like listening to it first, where I was just like, you should be. And then it's just like I don't like the chorus, the bridge. I was just like, okay, now go off, Taylor. It's like very much like um reputation vibes to me, where it's just kind of like fuck you guys. And like there was another TikTok, someone compared the like if these songs were on different albums, and it was like to the T of like I was like Down Bad also kind of made Reputation, I think, and then a lot of Folklore and Evermore, of course, with like the slower songs and stuff. But 1989 for I Can Do It with a Broken Heart, because it's just very much of like do.
yeah.
That's where it's
Ooh,
like there's something for all the people, even though it's not like fully poppy, but I'm just like there is
just
something
gotta
for
live for
everyone. Exactly. That's where it's fun to hear so many like everyone's different favorites too. Because I'm just like, like we have our favorites we just listed, and then my other like Swifty friend, it's like Clara Bow is like her favorite. Where I'm just like that one is like really good to me, but I'm just like that one probably wouldn't be like my top five that I would say. But it's
it.
just like it's fun like where she was just like, that's like top one or two for me. I was like, damn, okay, like where it's just like
Wow.
everyone has their different tastes, and it's really fun to see like okay, she's got sprinkled for everyone. Did you see she covered the whole, and I know we're wrapping this up, but did you see she covered the whole 14, the Billboard, the top 14 tracks,
The
like whenever
2.6 million like views or whatever, or streams or whatever the words are. Yes.
she
What?
broke her own record, because for Midnight she was like the first person to get all 10 songs in like the top Billboard charts. And
Wow.
then now she's like, they're like 14. And I'm like, oh my God, are we gonna get to 20? I'm kidding.
That's crazy because this is like at first take it was a very underwhelming
Yes.
like
And
album.
everyone kind of had that. From what I've seen, a lot of fans they have done the same. Even like hardcore Swifties have
Yeah.
had the feelings of like they're like at first, and they're kind of like, oh wait, yeah, no,
It
this is
just
it.
popped. It was like one day all of us were just like, wait. It was because we realized the context and we felt the beauty in it. I feel like we're like, this is all making more sense now. Like
That's
the
where I'm
timeline
like,
added up.
that's where I'm just like, I think I'm such an like random like oof, where I'm like, give me that like sad girl heartbreaks, like, but also with like nice little tones and stuff in the background, where I'm like, I loved it instantly. I was like, give it to me, like, please. But I'm just like, I'm happy that it's like it gives even people that were kind of like, oh, I don't know, but that's like, okay, wait, no, I get it. Where it's like,
It's definitely hyping me up. It's definitely hyping me up. It's just like such a weird. It's so weird having this kind of album when you're like right before a wedding. I went to a wedding the next day, and I was like, right before that, I was just like, "Fuck men, I hate them." Like, you know what I mean? I was like, they're ruining everybody's lives, and then like the next day, I'm like, I
you're
love
like
your
a
love.
mode where it's just like, yeah, no, I get that. Where it's like,
Yeah,
especially yeah, before a wedding, you're just like, hey, how's it
yeah.
going?
So it was like a weird blend, and after a few days, I was like, this slaps. I needed this.
No, it's so good. And I can't wait to see what other things people come out with, like the next like month even of just kind of like dissecting things. I'm like, give it to me all. Like uh, but, yay. Taylor did it
Yep.
again. Taylor did it again, folks.
Round of applause for the queen. We
Maybe
also
we can do an episode of just like digging into like what we think, like what songs are about who, or and I think that's like kind of dirty, whatever, but it's fun. Like it's just like, hey, who do we think? Like she put some clues out there for us, so we can like just in her entire just like discography, we're just kind of like, what do we think? Maybe that could be
I
fun
would
little.
love to do like a little timeline, like lore discography, like
There's so
breakdown.
much lore. There's so much lore with it. It's
Oh my
hard to
god,
explain, like just even in like a quick hour and 30 minutes. I'm just kidding.
not enough time. I know it's all good things, but yeah, and then we have good things to come too. We have some interesting people that might be guests in the coming future, so we're excited to like kind of just have more interviews like that. We're excited to just keep talking about like our lives, but definitely reach out if you have any suggestions. We really just like to enjoy each other, and we hope that you're coming around to just do the same.
Like join the conversation.
Yeah, yeah. Like, honestly, let us know how you feel about all these things. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Would you go to Coachella? Like, are there festivals that aren't even on our radars? Like, we've listed so many, but are there things that we should be going to? I've never
Or
even been to
underrated songs off the new album that you're kind of like, no, this song needs recognition. Because like, tell me, I will give that a play right now. I'm just kidding. I've been playing it all day anyways, but I'm just like, give me a little insight of what your favorites are. I love hearing it.
But yes, thank you so much for coming to see us. We appreciate you, and we'll talk to you soon.
Bye.